Everybody is early as usual.
Oh,
Where is
hey,
everybody? We're right here. What's up, everybody?
right here. Good evening, all you minties, and welcome back to another episode of Reels Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, and my lovely co-host, the Uncanny Omar.
Hey, how are you all doing? I
Yeah,
forgot to. I was answering your question as
you
the
forgot to
intro
post
was.
something.
Well, yes.
That explains it.
Yeah, that forgot. Okay, I'm gonna start. What's up, man? How's everybody doing tonight? We are
Yeah,
talking about what, Amanda, exactly?
Andor.
Andor. So this is the moon planet where the Ewoks hung out. Loved
Mhm.
it. I'm glad that
Yeah,
was a good
great
episode.
place.
It's great. Not really, because there was a battle for Andor.
And
Right? There was a battle for Andor.
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we are talking about Andor though on Disney Plus. There's been the ninth episode just aired today on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it, we will probably be talking about it. So spoilers. So if you don't want to hear about episode 9, or if you haven't watched any of Andor, you might want to. If you don't mind spoilers, stay and listen to us. If you do mind spoilers, come back and check us out after you go back and watch those 9 episodes and give us your thoughts when you do that as well. But yeah, so 9 episodes out of 12, so we're almost done with the season. I don't know if it's a limited series or not.
I was
Given the cast
about
and
to ask several
yeah,
questions about this series.
yeah, given the reputation of some of the actors, Diego Luna, Stellan Skarsgård, we even get Forrest Whitaker making his appearance as Saw Gerrera
Wait,
in
wait,
this.
wait, wait. Who's the one in the middle?
Who's the one in the middle of what?
The cast. You said Diego Luna, who's a
Stellan
producer.
Skarsgård.
Oh,
He plays Luthen.
oh my gosh! Yes.
Yes, he
I
plays
thought
Luthen.
it was never mind. It's the
Did
whole
you think
Liam
I
Neeson thing. It was a whole Liam Neeson thing again. Sorry, my bad.
okay, yeah. So when I was telling Omar about the Witcher 3 recasting, he thought I meant Liam Neeson, not Liam Hemsworth, which would have made for a much different version of The Witcher.
I was just like, why are people so mad? Okay, whatever.
But it
I'm
fits with
not
his
caught up,
theme.
but Rogue One is one of the best movie, followed closely by Last Jedi, and so Andor being good just makes sense. Yeah, that's what makes this show really interesting. I wasn't the biggest fan of Rogue One, but I
Oh, I'm the
really like
opposite.
this
Big
show.
fan.
I really like this show. I thought Rogue One. My issue with Rogue One is that I was expecting something else from the trailer, and it feels like they kind of took away from the lead character and recut it, and I did not get what I thought they were selling. But anyway, that is for another episode. But yeah, not a fan of Rogue One, but I'm loving Andor. The second
Yeah.
season will be 12 more episodes. And speaking of second seasons, I just saw that on Twitter. Maybe, I don't know, knock on
Yeah.
wood, that there is a rumor going around that Sandman got picked up for a second season. However, Netflix has not confirmed it. It was a DC tweet that got deleted, but again, Netflix has not confirmed anything. So who
Yeah.
knows? Up in the air. We'll see. Um, man, what a great show. So let's come back to this. So all this takes place before, of course, Rogue One. Spoilers if you haven't seen Rogue One,
Yeah,
you
right.
may not like where it goes. And this is such an interesting time of the rebellion and the empire
Mhm.
and all these characters that we're seeing through here, because it feels like not a Star Wars show. It definitely feels like, oh my god, I'm trying to think of something like The Prisoner, or it feels like somebody said in the chat Star Wars for grown-ups, and I kind of feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Like, no, not sexual content or over the top violence, but just
Yeah.
really good storytelling and really good character driven stories.
Yes.
So we have 9 episodes so far, and I feel like, yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like the first 3 episodes felt like one little movie. The
Yeah.
second 3 episodes, so episodes 4 through 6, felt like a second type of movie, and that was my
Yep.
favorite by far so far. But this one here feels a little bit longer, because we're in on episode 9, and it feels like that particular story is not over yet because
Exactly.
we're continuing it. So again, I'm gonna put up a little clicker here, a little banner, and then we can give you kind of quick little synopsis as to what's happened so far and who these characters are that we're going to be talking about.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and I have to agree. So this is definitely, I think what makes this different than our other Star Wars shows like Obi-Wan Kenobi, for example, or Mandalorian to some extent, Boba Fett, is that, we don't have these characters, no real like lead characters from the main trilogies or sequels or prequels. Yeah, Mothma is in the original trilogy, for example, but she's not Leia. She's not Obi-Wan, right? She was just she's one of the leaders of the rebellion at the time. So we are seeing more of the everyday what people are going through with the Empire, and just how, very World War II Nazi-ish the Empire truly is in a lot of things they do. And really, I think the biggest way you see that is the last episode, when you come to realize what they do with their prisoners, and the fact that prisoners never get out, they're never released, they are essentially murdered, and people are thought to be able to get out of prison, and that just never happens. And that's pretty dark.
Yeah,
But why this
it's
definitely is. I mean, and all the political intrigue that Mon Mothma has to go through, and Luthen when they're there on Coruscant. And so it's really interesting to see this part of the Star Wars universe that we don't typically see, because we usually see the adventures, we see all the prophecies, and we see all that stuff. This is more boots on the ground, the actual rebels. We're learning how Cassian becomes a rebel himself, right? We're learning what made Cassian, or Andor, whatever you want to call him. First name, last name, Clem, if you want to pretend he's not the real guy.
Griff, I think was his last name yeah, it's a really interesting show because I don't know if I agree with calling it Andor. Maybe the first 3 episodes, of course.
Yeah.
But definitely the second and the third feel like it's more than just him. It really feels like about the coming of the rebellion and how, the desperation in why they needed like all these lies, like how easy he is captured in what was that? Episode 7, right? Like he's
Yeah.
sentenced to prison. First of all, I was a little confused by his character arc because he seems like a really smart guy. Like in episode 4, he was talking about the lineup, right? Like that was really smooth. He was like, I
Yes.
think he should be on the left. He's left-handed, right? When they're walking in and pretending to be guards. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this guy's got his crap together. He's piloting the ship. It seems like he's got some kind of experience, but then he's just walking around like he didn't rob the Empire in episode 7 and he gets arrested, even though he's
Yeah.
not running.
Just
It's
because,
like,
yeah,
what?
he happened to be next to those dudes, and he looked like maybe one of those, like he could be part of their crew. So they arrested him.
Yeah, that was definitely what you said earlier about like like Nazi Germany, like that kind of
Mhm.
fear that they were putting everywhere. So it kind of felt like that. I just thought it was kind of not in his character to be caught that easy because I thought he was smarter than that. It was just really
But how
weird.
would he escape that? He wasn't expecting to get taken. That's the whole idea behind it, is that he wasn't expecting it. He
Right.
thought he
Then
was.
you send your girl to go out and get some food. You
Yes.
say, well, you just robbed how many credits? It was insane.
Yes.
Yes, we did notice that all of the actors just about have European accents.
Mm.
And it's interesting because I mean, we even in the original trilogy, they had accents like British accents and things like that.
Yeah.
And are some of the best Star Wars I've seen. Well written, the story has moved along organically. If you've not watched it, you are missing out. Absolutely well said.
Yeah. And I think I love that, because it is 12 episodes. And this is a show where we've talked about so many shows the past few months, and how it's just a waste of time, like the time they waste in not really be able to tell the story fully, or fleshing out characters. And this show is the exact opposite. They are very deliberate in the choices of the characters' choices, the plot, how it moves along and how it's driven. Everything seems to be so deliberate and part of this overall plot. Nothing seems to really be wasted. Where in other shows we've talked about on this channel, in the last few months, particularly, I feel like that's been the case in so many instances where I feel like they just wasted opportunities to flesh out characters, develop storylines and plot points. Now, we aren't on the final episode yet, so I'm gonna hold my breath and hope I'm not wrong, and that the last 4 episodes are fantastic. Or yeah, 3 episodes. Sorry, the last 3 episodes are fantastic.
Yeah.
But
oh my gosh, we're in the last 3 episodes. That's crazy.
So technically, that would be essentially the last major arc. Even though the Narkina 5, this whole prison arc seems to be flooding into this, but I think we're heading into, seeing this rebellion and, even getting to see Andy Serkis reprise another role.
In 2 episodes, he steals the show. In 2 episodes,
he's a great actor.
How did we
when he's a CGI character? He's just a great actor in general.
It's so weird to see him just oh my gosh, organically flow into this tremendous actor. He's a hell of an actor, and he really steals the show in those 2 particular episodes.
Exactly.
I love the little Easter egg too. Well, it's not much of an Easter egg of K2SO. I was like, wait a minute.
Is that the same?
How do you not recognize him? Like, I didn't know that they were using those bots as part of retaining all these prisoners that they were gathering up.
Well,
I thought that was cool.
He might be K2SO though. Still, I mean, Alan Tudyk. Does anyone know if he's the cast?
Well, no, he's doing what's it called, the Alien show, right? Like that Alien show. I'm not saying that he's too busy.
Yeah, he's never too busy for voice work. Doesn't take it.
I remember in Rogue One, I was like, oh my gosh. How did they find Mon Mothma? Like, is it the same actress? I remember when I went to watch it with a friend of mine, we were like, is that the same actress? That's impossible because, so many years have passed.
Yes.
And, she's great in this.
It's really cool to see her storyline fleshed out. Mm-hmm. And, man, do I hate her husband and daughter a lot. This woman is trying so hard, to fight within the confines of her political position to fight for what's right. And she has this husband that just, and her daughter, I just want to slap her across the face and be like, don't you see what your mother's trying to do? You spoiled brat. I
was thinking about the hoodie. I'm like, where's your stereotypical hoodie from MCU movies when they go into hiding? Come on, man. Yeah. She. I agree. Mon Mothma is damn hot in this show. Yes. Actually, the actress that was in the 3rd season of True Detective, the lady that's playing Bix. By the way, when I turned on subtitles, I was really disappointed because I turned it on the 3rd episode, and I was like, oh, I thought the whole time they were saying Biggs. No, they're saying Bix. B-I-X. Yeah. Oh well. She is extremely attractive. And I recognize what's her name right away, the girl that's playing Vel.
Yes.
From Game of Thrones, because she's got that face, right? She's the one that was treating Arya.
Yes,
so she definitely stood out.
With long hair and a little bit more grown, but very distinct face. Yes. You brought up this point. Am I the only one who thought Clea was Leia? No, you are not. And I actually read a couple other pieces of people who think the same exact thing. And wouldn't it have been cool if that was her origin story? Leia's origin story is she's the one who's like, you have to kill this loose end, which is Cassian Andor.
Yo, that was messed up.
Hey, right?
That is one of the we were commenting on how this show has a lot of characters and they're fleshing out these characters, but there's so many characters that they're putting in here. It gets a little bit confusing at times, especially when they're in their civilian clothes. Because it took me a second to recognize Vel. If it wasn't for her face that I recognized from Game of Thrones, I was like, it's the same character.
That she's undercover too.
And there's so many, names that we have to learn all over again, these Star Wars types of names. Mm-hmm. And doesn't help that Andor changes his name in every other episode either. Yeah. But I find, that is one thing. Like I was trying to put a character earlier. I'm like, is that the character that I saw in an earlier scene? Because at first I thought that scene right there when both of the ladies were meeting was what's her name? Deidre, the chick, the evil chick from the Empire.
Oh, yes.
Kills it. Like I think she's great too.
Oh yeah, she's in that last episode in episode 9. It's funny because they do this really good job. One of my favorite characters is Thrawn, who is a villain, right? Because he works for the Empire. But I love
Mhm.
the Timothy Zahn novels, just seeing his rise to power, where he is kind of a hero, right? And you see early on with Cyril and Deidre, you want to root for them as they're fighting against their own, issues with the Empire of wanting to be better than some of their colleagues, or not being walked all over. But then we cannot forget that she goes on and tortures Bix in like the most,
Dude,
well, I don't know, what is this, is it children screaming? What is she hearing when
I don't
they
know, the way that he described it, I thought it was like some kind of screaming, and he said the
yeah,
last part is like children screaming.
yes,
Yeah, I thought that 'cause oh my god, I don't know, have you seen Clerks? The original Clerks?
yes, I did.
When Randall and Dante are talking about, like, like, all the people that worked on the Death Star, they weren't all bad guys, right? Like, you had window washers and you had desk clerks and stuff like that, like, and and it reminded me of that when all the people are in that one scene in that room when they're talking about, like, all the crime that they've kept down,
Yeah,
and I thought, yeah, some of these people have no idea what they're doing exactly, like,
they
how
don't know
much
who
it's
they're working
impacting.
for.
They have no idea what the outskirts of the galaxy is like. They have no idea who this emperor is. Oh, dude, and whenever the name was dropped, I just talked to Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah,
I was
I was
like,
like, "Whoa."
oh yeah, dude. Oh, he better show up. That was Randall was right. Hell yeah, it was. Dude, Clerks 3. I cried. I
Yeah,
cried, brother. It was
it makes me
beautiful.
also think of that SNL skit that Kylo Ren, that Adam Driver was in, where he played like a worker on Kylo Ren's ship, and he talked about Kylo Ren's like anger issues and stuff, but he was just like cleaning up messes. It just it reminds me that those people existed. They just worked for
Yeah,
the
and Luke blew them up on the Death Star.
Empire.
The torture scene in this episode was so well done. I was about to comment on
Yes,
this. No violence, but the reaction in watching her pupils dilate was
yes,
terrifying. It's terrifying because when when they're talking about like the previous guy that they were interrogating, Deidre just says, "No, just leave him there. I want her to see him."
yep.
And she does. And you're like, "Holy crap, what's gonna happen?" And they do, man. I felt so bad for her. And I feel so bad for all these people because you don't know who to trust exactly. I mean,
No.
you obviously know the character that makes it out of this. Well, a couple characters make it out of
Yeah,
this.
because Saul Guerrero has to make it out of it too. And
We
Mon
just
Mothma.
don't know exactly who out of this group makes it out of all
Yes,
of it.
exactly. Yeah. We
This is
know
the
who gets their endings.
This is the best collection of Imperials since the scene in episode 4 in New Hope, where we are first introduced to the Imperial officers. I find your lack of faith a
Yeah.
little disturbing. Yeah, none of these guys, exactly. This is what I love about shows like this. None of these guys are talking about the Force. None of these
Oh,
guys are
thank
talking about
God. Yeah.
Sith Lords. And
Yeah.
but I love that aspect of Star Wars, right? Like whenever we knew we were going to get an episode 1, 2, and 3, holy crap, the first thing most of us kids thought were, well, I wasn't a kid, I was in my 20s when those came out, were like, oh my god, we're gonna see Star Wars at their prime. Star Wars, the Jedi at their prime. We're gonna see the Sith at their prime. And what we ended up getting was an episode of CNN, like a bunch of politics and laws being passed. And I'm like, what? Where are all the Jedi jumping around and
Yeah.
destroying everything?
For a movie, it doesn't really work as much as it does for a
But
television show like
Well, I
Andor.
mean, I think it really depends on the way that it is written, and it is
And
written
that's true too.
really well here.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the biggest, I mean, in a sense, Game of Thrones is really political too. Like, there's a lot of things
Well,
going on.
especially House of the Dragon, more so.
Yeah, they're sitting around half the time drinking and passing laws and talking about who they should go and fight
And
instead of actually
who's
doing it.
suing who, and yeah, it's
Um, but I think this show is really well written, and the acting is on point. The practical effects are so awesome.
it's
Oh my
beautiful.
gosh. Yeah, this is one of the best shows out there right now. And I don't know, I think a lot of people do this. Like, I'm done with so and so, I'm done with Marvel, I'm done with DC, I'm done with Star Wars because of like
Mhm.
one or two bad shows in a row that it wasn't for them. And I feel like a lot of people left Star Wars a long time ago with either the prequels, because I remember those guys, some of them were my friends. They're like, I'm done with Star Wars. I don't give a crap
Yeah.
about Star Wars anymore with episode 2. 3 came out and they still went to go see the movie. And then I remember a bunch of people screaming about the sequels, episodes 7, 8, and 9,
Yeah.
and then Obi-Wan. You know, I feel like
Yeah,
Mandalorian really restored a lot of faith for people.
it
Uh,
did. It
and then we
did.
had Boba Fett.
Mm. But at least Boba Fett had Mandalorian like 2.5, so it was fine.
Yeah, which is so
They,
weird.
they had
But in a way, I was kind of hoping Mandalorian would go and rescue Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan had its moments. Obi-Wan had its moments. I'm
yeah,
not hating on the show entirely. It had a lot of moments I hated, but it had some really good moments.
yeah,
This hasn't been like to me, it hasn't missed a beat. I think it's been oh my gosh, it's been a damn good show. Like
yeah.
episodes 1, 2, and 3, if you're watching it like a mini movie, holy crap, that is a really good movie about a
Mhm.
guy that makes a mistake. He's looking for his sister, accidentally kills people,
Yes.
actually accidentally kills one guy,
The other
purposely
guy,
kills the next. So immediately you're like, "Ooh, what kind of character is this? He's
very pragmatic
complex.
in that decision
He's
to kill that second
complex.
dude.
He's trying to get out of this planet, and you realize it's not easy. It's not
Yeah.
as easy as like, I need to get smuggled." I like that about this show. And by the end of episode 3, he takes off with
With
who is the
Luthen.
actor again?
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, Luthen. Okay. Um,
Oh,
and that reveals that there's this whole operation going on, and that's what he got hired to go and do. And man, those were my favorite episodes. Episodes uh 4, 5, and
that's it.
6. Oh my gosh, those
Watch them
episodes
do the
were
heist.
so
Yeah.
good.
It's
Especially yeah,
Aldani, right?
the
That's where they
heist
on
episode.
Aldani? Is that where that's where they did it? On Aldani, right?
The episode 9 was called The Eye. That's my favorite one by far. Aldani was Aldani is when
That's when they were on the
Mhm.
doing the heist. Yeah. Which it was perfect those 3 episodes. And then watching him try to escape what just happened and leave, but just to get caught, go to prison. And then we get
That's
this
what I was mad about. I'm like, dude, you just pulled this heist. You're like one of the
yeah.
half the team got killed.
But I do like when he was talking to Andy Serkis's character and he's like, "Nobody's listening. Nobody's
That was
listening."
good. That was
That was
good.
so good.
That was good.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Because
was
you're yeah, every oh man, you feel just so helpless. You're stuck in
yes.
this yeah, you compared it earlier to like almost like a concentration camp, right?
That is that's
Because
basically
you
what
don't know where you are. He was like, "Where am I going? What's going on?" And they're like, "You need to go to blah blah blah." And he's like, "Where is?" He's completely lost. He's not this character we saw at the beginning of the series that he was sure of himself and
mm-mm.
had a plan. And the
Yeah.
whole time you're thinking he's going to get out of it. He has a backup plan. There's no way he's going to get arrested. He's thrown in prison,
Yep.
and now he's starting to develop a plan, trying to get everything together. Meanwhile, poor Bix is being tortured,
Yes.
and mom man, I just I want to see this transition of Mon Mothma go from I don't know how do you describe a character like her right now? Rich, powerful,
Yes. Well
y-
connected.
yeah, into somebody that wears like a hippie gown.
Yeah. Where did that come into? Not her beautiful white sleep
When
gowns.
she starts believing in the Force,
Yes,
what's going on? She gave up this fine clothing and diamonds and collecting things for this life. I like that. I think it's cool because I mean, if you've seen the original episodes and of course even Rogue One, you know where her character is going.
Yeah, exactly. You know where her character's leading up to. So that's what I'm excited to see. I think Matt said he can't wait to see Andor reprogram an Imperial droid to get K2SO. I'm kind of thinking that's
Is he the one that's gonna do it? Because I feel like
who else? Well, I mean that's it.
that other kid that got paralyzed in the mid. Well, I don't know if he's
Oh, that's
paralyzed.
right. Yes, that other kid
Kind of
could
figured
be.
some of those characters would stick around.
Yeah, even though they're gone right now, we may see them because I mean I
Well,
thought I didn't expect to see Vel again, but then here we are. So
yeah, we not only just saw Vel, but we also saw her her lady friend.
mhm.
What is her name? I can't remember. She was in the episode 8. She showed back up in 8 because she's like, I'm gonna go rent a house, which is just really weird to do too.
Yeah, so random.
Why would you want to rent a house? Just to be near her? No way, dude. That ain't worth it.
Exactly.
You need to get out of there. Oh my gosh, what is her name? Cinta. Cinta. That's her name.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bert, for the super chat. Speaking of Cyril, how about his whole arc where he basically makes things worse by disregarding his wives who told him not to pursue the matter? I mean, he did that, That is what he did. He didn't listen. Then went and it's an interesting arc for him where he's supposed to be keeping, keeping the peace and maintaining crime and control, and then to hear his superior say, just make them look like heroes, but not too good of heroes that people want to look into it and want to celebrate them. Just make it a nice thing and just sweep it under the rug. I'm sure they just got, they were in a brothel. They shouldn't have been there in the first place. Drinking on duty. They shouldn't have done that. And they probably got into it with an undesirable. They shouldn't have done any of that. So let's just sweep it under the rug. And he just can't take it. I mean,
Man, he's all about what's her name too, Deidre.
Deidre,
Like,
he is. Well, because
he's
she
like stalking her, and he's like, I feel like you want to do the right thing, and I
was
want to do the right thing. We should
well, 'cause
definitely
she
do the
sees
right thing together.
exactly, and she's
Huh.
the one who sees the bigger picture. She's like, this all is. She tells them it's an announcement. These rebels, they're
I don't
here.
know how she called. Honestly, I thought she was part of the Rebel
I thought she
Alliance.
was too in the beginning, but then I realized she's just a very
She's
smart.
just really good at taking her job seriously. I
She
feel like
takes
she's one of those. She started off as that cashier at Walmart that saw you slipping the gum into your basket.
exactly,
She went to go tell her manager, and you're like, dude, you're only making $5 an hour. You're taking your job too seriously. What are you doing?
exactly.
That was how she moved up in the rankings.
Yeah. Spencer, I am interested to see what they're going to do with Cyril. What does his story arc at the end look like?
I
How
like
does it
his
wrap up?
mom.
Yeah, his mom.
His
That
mom.
actress, who is she? Because she is one of those actors. She was in an 80s movie or
She's
early
got a
90s.
really unique voice.
Yes. And I know I've seen her. I was like, this woman is so. Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Oh
She
no.
was in Harry Potter.
Of course she was. Of
She
course.
was in she played the elderly neighbor who was a what do they call the witches who can't do magic? She was one of those. And she just
Hufflepuff?
no, not a Hufflepuff. No,
Oh,
that couldn't do
yeah, no.
magic. And she watched over Harry for Dumbledore. And she's like, put away your wand, Harry, when the Dementors come. Anyways, that's who
No
that
idea.
lady is. I just figured it out because she has a very distinct voice. And I can't.
Dude, every time I see that nasty blue milk, I'm like, what are you drinking? What is that? Always eating trick cereal pretty much, just the purple and blue swirl ones. Um this this story is really interesting, and I'm trying to see how it all connects and what other actors we're going to see that showed up. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen Forrest Whitaker, which we kind of thought we were going to see.
Of course. I
Here.
mean, yeah. I don't think we'll see Jenner, so that doesn't make sense because their paths don't cross until that specific time frame. But I
Is that
mean,
what's her name?
her dad, we could see
Wait, who did you say?
Jenner. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Felicity Jones.
Let's see Jones' character, but her father, Mads Mikkelsen, we could see him.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
we could see him pop up somewhere for some reason. Who knows? But that's a possibility.
I did like the character of Donnie Yen. I thought he was really cool. Can't not
Mhm.
remember any of these people's names.
Well, there's
Uh,
a lot. Yeah, that's the thing about the show. There is a lot of characters. So I'm just going off by facial recognition, but trying to remember all of their names, like all the people that were part of the crew during the heist. It was very hard to remember all of their names, but they're very distinct characters. What Ahsoka? I don't know if she would appear in this or not. It would almost not that because she's a Jedi, but I'd almost want her to not appear in it and let this just be a without any force related characters showing up in it. I would be okay with it. Keep it all ground level.
yeah,
Maybe
because
Vader will show up. I mean, now they got what's his name back.
oh, thank you so much for this. So apparently Cassian
Oh, okay.
reprogrammed K2SO in a Rogue One
And they
prequel.
take the comics as part of canon, right?
They do. Yeah, if it's a Marvel comic, it's canon.
Then it's canon. Okay.
Maybe season 2 we will see Biggs Darklighter. Right? Instead of being confused with Bix,
Yeah,
I
he
want
was,
Afra, but who knows? Dude, I don't know.
yeah, that'd
I
be
was
awesome.
thinking about her the other day and about how much I really enjoy her character and how she would fit into all of this. Because she first appears before episode 4, 5, and 6. So she's a little bit older than those characters. So I don't know if that will fit into this or if they'll do it a different way, if they'll just make a Dr. Aphra story and tell that particular story in a little mini series.
Yeah.
She's a great character, and the fact that she's got those psychotic wargs, oh my gosh, they're so awesome. Black Cassandran, but he's already appeared though in the Boba Fett series.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't know what they're gonna do. So we got a small taste of it, but we'll see. And yeah, if we don't have any Force characters, that definitely keeps the budget down.
Yeah, and Roberto said there's barely any aliens, most background characters, and that's true. I mean,
Yeah, in the prison cell, I noticed that there were
yeah.
some aliens in the bar.
Yeah, in the first episode, that gentleman he goes to hire to get a ship. There was the second episode when they realized someone's looking for him from Canary. There was an alien with him, but that was about it. And then the droids too. I mean, have taken account droids, creating those cost money as well.
Yeah, so I guess they're keeping budgets down or saving that money for Mandalorian season 3, or what's the other spin-off show?
Skeleton Crew with Jude Law, the kids.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know if that will happen or not.
But it is happening.
Nice X-Wing, Omar. What is the title and do you have the video about? Oh, it just it doesn't come out until I think December. It's the Star Wars New Republic Legends. It's the omnibus. So yeah, I haven't even opened it yet. I like to keep the books back there to remind me to start a schedule of like when to get it read by.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a few episodes. Have they picked up Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, for a second season?
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking here. Yes. Well, it's unknown right now, the status. But right now, as far as other Star Wars series, so we know that we have Bad Batch season 2 coming out in January. The Mandalorian season 3 comes out in 2023. The Star Wars Visions volume 2 in the spring. Ahsoka is supposed to come out in 2023. Skeleton Crew is supposed to come out in 2023. The Acolyte is supposed to come out. They don't have a date yet. But I don't see anything on their status unknown as far as if they're going to do Book of Boba Fett or not. I just wonder if it just depends on the audience reception of it and what they decide.
The natural backgrounds makes a difference, in my opinion. Kenobi felt plastic. Yeah, I feel like that's also a big thing. Like practical effects and building sets absolutely make a difference. A Vader series between 3 and 4 would be interesting. Yeah, especially with I really like Charles Soule's comic on what happens to Vader.
Yes.
Between episodes 3 and 4. I think it's really good. And honestly, with I hate to say this, but with James Earl Jones giving them permission to use his voice and selling his voice away,
why
they
not?
can technically use it. And you've got Hayden
coming back to on the suit. Yeah.
You already had him back, and I'm sure you could pay him some money to come and I mean, you don't need to, it's a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
It's Vader's voice
Pedro Pascal would be the Mandalorian in a suit.
Yeah. So Mandalorian is set to return on February 22nd.
Nice.
Very excited for that.
That is
but before we get there, let's talk about this. Was there things that you did not like about this show?
I don't think there's anything I particularly dislike. I mean, I would have been okay if we never addressed if Cyril wasn't part of the show, probably. But I don't know where he's going with that, where that character's going now that we've reached that pinnacle where all the characters are starting to connect, like him and Deidre, getting together and working together to find Cassian and stuff like that. Maybe I'm going to be eating my words on whether or not I liked Cyril's storyline in the end. He's just the one character that I have not been that drawn to. I think out of all the characters, his is just not interesting to me enough. But other than that, there's very few things that I dislike about this season so far. What about you?
Okay. I actually had I rewatched it. I watched it twice because I really liked the show, and it's never really explained why Andor is the main character, why he's so important to the rebellion that he was recruited. Like that was never explained. He talks about his father.
Yes.
He throws little hints, and he's
Luke.
just kind of thrown in there, which, like I said, it surprised me that he got caught. Like, if he was so important to the is this part? And I thought for a second, this is part of the plan. They're throwing him in. Nope, this is
Nope,
not
not part of
part
the
of
plan at
the
all. No.
plan. Yeah, and then little things, like planning the what's it called, the attack to rob this place for ages, and you know they don't place their people properly. Like, why?
Yeah, they took a long time to do it, and then
Like,
even
the guy should not have been able to sneak in and go, "What's going on here?"
yeah, right.
Um, but minor little things. I think the show is phenomenal, and I hope it remains phenomenal because it's hard to rate a series like this right now. Because as we know from our past experiences with shows, it could all fall apart
Oh,
at
yeah,
the end,
very quickly.
at the very end, like
Yep.
that.
Could be a huge disappointment at the end, the way it pans out. Yeah, and I know a lot of people here are talking about, you know, the show started off at a brothel, was not expecting that.
On a
I
Disney Plus
love that
show.
actress that he's talking to. She's so I just love her look a lot. I don't know who she is, off the top of my head, but she was fantastic, who I guess was probably in charge of the brothel or a manager of the brothel, but I love
So
that character.
that was where I think the show was going to go, where he finds out that he's really not the important one, but it's his sister that's
Yeah.
the important one to the cause of the rebellion. And if she's a part of the empire, then all they're doing is just using him for who he is, which would make a really good show. Which I feel like that's where it might go, but I don't know yet.
Yeah, and
Charles
we
Soule
haven't had
is
and they've
back.
been really sparse on
Forward, Brad.
the backstory for Cassian, like what actually happened to Canary. I've led to believe that anytime the Empire says it was a bad mining accident, it just means that either there was a massacre, like the Empire did something. It wasn't an actual mining accident. Something bad happened on that planet, is what I have come to just expect from that word choice to describe something on the. But I don't know, like we still not really quite sure what exactly happened on Canary to get those answers, because he was taken by Mira, right? And then what happened to everyone else?
She had a really good line about love. I thought that was really sweet.
I love Fiona Shaw, great actress.
Yeah, we don't know what ended up happening there. We got a little
No.
bit of that, and was his sister there at the end? Like, what was that?
Yeah, that's why, like, how does
Because
he
they
know?
stopped that, right? It was only in the
Yeah,
first 3 episodes we got those flashbacks, and then they dropped the flashbacks.
exactly. So will they show back up in the last 3 episodes, or since now we have a season 2, does that mean this storyline of his backstory is extended into season 2? We may not see his sister till whatever season they decide to
Oh,
end.
would it be crazy if Deidre's Andor's sister? But then she would have known, right? Like, didn't they say that he was born
Oh,
in
yeah, in Canary, she would have known,
and there
yeah.
weren't a lot of people that got out alive
Unless she
according to
was
him.
brainwashed, but yeah, that I can't see that happening. But
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, this is the darkest Star Wars that I have been exposed to outside of The Empire Strikes Back, Rogue One, and Empire Omnibus. Oh, that Empire Omnibus is great. Not a big fan of flashbacks anyway because of the Arrow
Yeah.
series. I like flashbacks when done right and placed properly. His mom told him his sister died. Yeah, she said, "Stop looking for your sister,"
Yes. I
which
think the
doesn't mean
reason for that
anything,
too.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, look at Luke and Leia. Like, obviously, siblings always play a bigger part than we think. I hope they'll stop filming in that screen dome and just go out there and create new worlds. Mandalorian was cool for the
Yes.
first Star Wars series. It didn't work for Fett or Kenobi. Are they still filming in? I think they were building sets, though. It looks like
I thought they were too.
because
But
that creation of that screen dome is insane. If you ever seen the behind the scenes, it's like taking a 360-degree screen. That is just
beautiful.
nuts.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were able to do some amazing things because of that. One
It's
great thing
fantastic.
about the show is they have a road map for 2 seasons. Diego Luna, who's in a producer, I think, so he's sticking around,
Yeah,
said
of
it
course.
ends right where Rogue One begins for him, about to find out about
Oh,
the
that's
Death
awesome.
Star. Yeah, and then I guess season 3 is Rogue One,
Rogue
huh?
One. And we
Uh,
all know how that ends for him. and how it ends for the rebellion, or how it goes for the rebellion. So
But at least those characters gave them hope.
that's right. They gave them a new hope.
Oh, oh, I never shut up. All right. Um, out of 10, what would you give episodes 1 through 9 so far, Amanda? And everybody else that has seen it?
So for me, this is probably one of the best shows out there right now.
Mhm,
And I would have to give this, so far for the first 9 episodes, a 9 out of 10. I am very happy with this show,
mhm.
loving the direction of it.
I think it's an excellent show. It has kept on a steady pace of being damn good, and holy crap, it was just getting better and better. Uh, this arc right here seems to be a little bit longer, and yeah, I think it's a 9 is a fair rating for me too.
Yeah. So
So
whatever
far,
in the chat say.
hopefully it sticks to its landing. 9 out of 10.
Yes, we've seen a lot of things that don't stick to their landing. So I'm a little cautious about how that's going to go.
8 out of 10. 9 and a
Good rate.
half.
Yep.
Strong 8, 7, 9, 8, 9.5, 8.5. 9 out of 10. Star Wars for grown-ups. What would you give it, Roberto Rodriguez? This is a 10 for me. My
Massive.
favorite Star Wars in a long time. My favorite Star Wars TV show for sure. Star Wars for adults. Hey, Matt is a fan of Conan the Barbarian. And did you see that post that Corey Settlemyre put in the Marvel Masterworks forum? He's going to keep working on the Conan books. So they'll match up to the Marvel stuff, and even reprinting some of the Marvel books. It'll look just the same on the spine, with the exception of the Marvel logo will be the Titan Comics logo.
Nice.
So, yeah, but I didn't like. Oh, wait a minute! I wasn't a fan of Rogue One. Does that mean my
It always
rating goes down?
Yeah, I
I
do
give
wonder
it 9.3. Where's my dude, the Canadian? Like, what was his name? Canadian
in
and
comics or
yeah, he always gave it like a. I give it a 9.3.
9.823. I was like, that didn't even like, yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah, I do wonder how like younger kids take to Andor, right? Like your 10, 11, 12-year-olds, how do they find Andor? Obviously, us adults are all like, oh, this is Star Wars for adults. I am curious, these kids who are used to the Force and lightsabers and Obi-Wan Kenobi and even the Mandalorian with Baby Yoda, cute little Baby Yoda, right? How do they and it's like a spaghetti western style show. How do they feel about this show? I would be really curious to see like a young kid do a review of Andor and get their opinion of what this show is like for them.
Well, I can speak for myself as a young kid, like watching Star Wars in the theater and watching Return of the Jedi. I really like that.
Yeah,
Watching Empire Strikes Back, I did not like that. I was like, this is
a
too
young kid.
rough. I love the battle for Endor, so give me more Ewoks, and I like the Ewok adventure. I don't know what a perfect Star Wars story would be, and that is Star Wars Christmas special. Episodes 1 and 3 are 8 out of 10. 4 through 6, 10 out of 10. Episodes 7 through 9, 12 out of 10. Or, dude, Rick, I thought you were rating the prequels, the originals, and the sequels, and I'm like, holy crap, Rick really likes the sequels, like The Force
But
Awakens.
you know what, Rick? Yeah, that could be taken the
That
wrong
is
way, given
a
the
hell
way
of a compliment when you're talking about Star Wars.
because
You gotta be
even those
careful.
they're called episode 1, right? So
Right.
yeah, I like Mon Mothma's backstory.
Did you all
Yeah,
see where Sandman was renewed for season 2? Yeah. Well, when we started the
did.
show, it was just a rumor, and people kept saying that apparently that
Netflix has confirmed it.
that Neil Gaiman confirmed it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yes, yeah,
Rick
Netflix
Rick is
confirmed
talking
it.
about Andor. Yeah, I kind of figured. Rick was talking about Andor. I don't want to take things out of context. So yes, I hope to see this show continue,
Me
and if
too.
they have the mapping all the way to season 2, lining up perfectly with Rogue One, then I'm all there for that.
Does make me want to go back and watch Rogue One, which is never a bad thing for me. I did enjoy that film. I mean, I loved the ending. I just enjoyed a lot of the characters. I like
Mhm.
that film a lot. So
I like aspects of it. I didn't. I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending. Like I liked her character, and I wanted more of her. Now God knows what the heck for because Forrest Whitaker's character, he was the character from the what's it called, right? Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same character.
From the cartoon. That's what I thought. And he
Yeah.
shows up in this too.
Yep, he shows up in this. It's one of those characters that's going to be, kind of like Mon Mothma is the same kind of character too. Shows up in a lot of different versions of Star Wars throughout the years.
Rogue One is a hidden gem. It got lost with Solo in episode 9. Rogue One,
Solo is
or at
nuts.
least Solo did some teasing, right? We were supposed to get some kind of like Darth Maul return, but unfortunately, like instead of him, they got Darth Vader. So
Yeah, I'm okay with
that was good.
yeah.
Andor's Dark One, heart attack from forced labor 2, torture with the screams of dying alien
Yeah.
children, euthanasia. Dude, I was surprised they put that old guy down.
I know they're
Going
like
on an entire prison floor to suppress the truth. That was dark, and it shows how much control they have over the whole
very
prison.
Nazi Germany. Like, holy crap.
You rewatch the whole trilogy, though. It's not that bad, in my opinion. Maybe we'll do Was It Really That Bad?
We
On the
should of like the whole trilogy.
I'll be honest with you. I've only seen Last Jedi and
You saw
Rise
Rise of
of
Skywalker.
the Skywalker one time.
We watched it in theaters together, right?
And I only saw it one time. Because I was both of them were like
I've seen it more than that.
my issue was it felt like
They were trying to please fans.
it
Fan
just became a
service.
crap sandwich because
Get
they
them
didn't have an idea of what to do. The original idea left, and they got a new guy to do with his idea.
and it was all
And
about
then
the stupid MacGuffin.
it could have been so much better. And I think it's which I don't even consider myself a big Star Wars fan, but I
Yeah.
think Star Wars fans deserve better than what they got. Now, if you love the sequels, more power to you. But I feel the same about the prequels. People really hated on the prequels, and
Yeah.
I think there's a whole generation that grew up on the prequels.
It's true.
Somehow Palpatine returned. Yeah, dude, but do you not remember a movie called The Clone Wars? I'm pretty sure that doesn't need an explanation when you have a movie called The Clone Wars
That's
or
true.
Attack of the Clones. My fault. Attack of the Clones. Yes, a
That's
crab
fair.
sandwich is what I've always called it. It's not good. You can try to feed it to me, but I'm not gonna like it. Let's see here. They released Rogue One in IMAX like a week before the
Oh,
show came out. After watching this, I really wish I would have went and seen it on the big screen again.
I did not know they did that.
Yeah. Oh, so he's also in Rebels. Okay. His character is also in Rebels. I'm
Okay.
with Omar. Rogue One gets overrated. You've got to be careful around here, man. People really like Rogue One, but you're my boy, Rick Ray.
That was okay. Like you said, Star Wars isn't like it's, I love the franchise, but it's not Lord of the Rings. It's not Harry Potter. For
Not
me, anyways, like that's
It's not
fan.
X-Men, but it always brings the child in me out.
Yeah, exactly.
I love cheering for the underdogs, the guys that are out there getting their asses whooped and can't eat and getting sent to prison for absolutely no reason. There's a whole generation that will grow up with a sequel trilogy. Like my daughter.
True.
I remember my daughter clapping when Ray picked up the lightsaber, and I was so proud of her because I was like, she gets it. That's so cool.
Yep, she gets what they're trying to do.
Each generation of Star Wars will hate on the next. Yes.
Yeah.
So her generation will hate on whatever's happening now or whatever happens here in the next few years. The
Yes.
Taika Waititi
I
trilogy.
do hope that at some point, we move away from just revisiting all the old, what happened with the Empire and the Republic and move forward in the Star Wars trilogy. I know that's what the sequels did, but they just rehashed the same Skywalker drama. Like, I wish that whole new thing in the Star Wars universe. That'd be nice. Let's just move on forward from it.
That's why I really like the Old Republic. Like those books
way back, like thousands of years.
Yeah, when it was like when the Jedi were still like, controlling the entire galaxy. We didn't have the Senate. Then it's just those are some really cool books.
Yeah. And if they want to go back that far, go ahead.
I think what they'll do is they'll probably go back to like what's the new Disney thing or Marvel book. It's the High Republic, which is very similar, but it's only about 100 years before the Skywalker saga.
Not too much. Yeah.
15 years, Omar. You got to give it time for the generation to hate the next thing. This is
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
Back in my day, dude, that Vader scene was awesome. And then,
Yeah.
of course, seeing Leia at the end, even though people were dogging on the graphics, I thought it
I
was
didn't think
good.
it was that bad. Yeah.
Would love to see something set in that old dude. Me too. You don't like, cause you don't need to be connected to the Skywalkers or Palpatine or
You don't
anything.
need it.
You
Yeah.
know, Sith are bad, Jedi good.
As long as you have Sith and Jedi, you pretty much have the fundamentals of any Star Wars, anything. And we could just go from there.
Some great storytelling that can be done. The guy
Yes.
that made the HBO Watchmen show supposedly making a Star Wars movie.
Wow.
Okay. Everybody gets a Star Wars movie.
Everyone's getting one these days.
Damon Lindelof movie will apparently be after the sequel trilogy. So we're talking post Skywalker saga.
Okay. Which is, yeah, I just hope they don't. I hope we just get rid of. I mean, they killed off pretty much all of the characters that could be part of the Skywalker saga. Might as well, Rey.
Oh, don't remind me.
Maybe just
Shut
Poe
up.
Dameron. Maybe just the Adventures of Poe Dameron and Oscar Isaac just running around.
I'm surprised that they didn't give that guy a TV show.
I am shocked too. Well, they did give him a TV show. It's called Moon Knight. They need Oscar Isaac for something else. They couldn't.
No, he was great in Moon Knight. Too bad that show
Uh-oh.
did not. Though I got James got it. Thank you, James. By the way, how do you feel about Henry Cavill returning as Superman? Well, I think Amanda can probably agree with me. She is so excited because she hated The Witcher, and she's so glad that he was leaving the
Okay.
role of The Witcher, which is not even what his name is. I think his name is Geralt.
Geralt of Rivia. No, I love Henry Cavill. I think he's a good Superman. I don't think he was given enough time or good material to work with. So I'm excited that he's back because we talked about this on Black Adam episode last week when we reviewed it too. But yeah, the Witcher news is sad. But the more I've read about it, I realize I don't think it's the Superman is why he's leaving necessarily, but apparently they have new showrunners or new writers, one of the two of The Witcher, and or maybe they are always there, but they don't really want to focus on trying to keep it more in line with, The Witcher stories that obviously Henry Cavill's a fan of. And I think Henry Cavill being there is how they were able to keep it so on track and not change too much of the original Witcher source material. And I think that's not what they want to do. I think there are creative differences there. And with Henry Cavill coming back as Superman, and that's going to take some time, this is a good time for him to part ways. But I do wonder if Witcher will survive without Henry Cavill, because I feel like those two things have become synonymous for that show. Like people watch The Witcher, not that, Jennifer and all that, people love her too, but I think people watched it for him as Geralt. So I'll be interested to see what happens when Liam Hemsworth takes over in that role.
Not Neeson.
Not Neeson. That'd be a very different.
I was like, why are people hating on it? Okay.
Why?
Yeah. I have not even seen season 1. Just one of those shows that kind of unfortunately
watch The Witcher.
It got drowned like with a bunch of other things. Like,
Man.
and the problem with Netflix has always been that they dropped the whole thing at once. And I don't know. I didn't need my fantasy kick at the time, and I saw some of the trailers and some of the special effects and some of the armor looked kind of not great. But I'm sure it's good. I know a lot of people love it, so I don't know if it can survive without the leading actor, because I myself hate when they replace actors in movies and TV shows. That's like the worst thing you can do.
I hate that.
And usually, it ends up, the show ends up not surviving. Where the hell is my Terrence Howard gift?
I get rid of it. I don't delete anything.
I did put this up there.
I did see that. I thought you were going to talk about that.
Can we talk about recasting She-Hulk with Nikita Lyons? And I'm all about Kiki taking over the role of Rogue.
Palmer is Rogue. That is really awesome.
I'm okay with that. She looks good. But yeah, now I got lost in my words. I don't know what I'm saying. Waiting on Willow.
Yeah, that's coming out soon. December, right? Am I right on that?
Yeah,
Yeah, December.
they just released another trailer for
Very
Avatar 2.
They did. I actually got to see the cast like of the young kids in person. I watched one of their interviews because one of the boys who plays, I think one of the sons, he's in that Netflix movie, The School for Good and Evil, which I watched with my daughter. Did not know. I never read the book, had nothing going in. I was like, well, this is something. This is something else. But yeah,
I never did finish Spartacus, I'll be honest. I never did.
he
I know
did.
when he passed away of cancer, that really sucked.
It did. I mean, his replacement, I mean, I like that actor as well.
Mhm.
Did a good job filling in that role. And it's good to see a lot of the other Spartacus actors, go on and do other things too. Season two's ending, I will say for The Witcher, I wasn't as happy with it as like season one's ending. So
So,
hopefully season three, now that it's his last season, they will just do it justice and then whatever happens.
okay, all kidding aside, when I thought you said Liam Neeson, I'm like, well, okay, that's actually a smart
Older.
move
Yeah.
to do. Why don't they just cast an older, instead of somebody his age that doesn't really look like him? They can't, uh, you know, doesn't have his physique, if you will. Maybe he can. I don't know. But why not go older with him and tell those kind of stories? That would be.
Exactly.
You think Gunn is going to be able to direct if he's a high? Oh yeah, I think in
That's
heart.
in the stipulations of the contract that he can still do other projects, not Marvel projects, but he can do other projects.
Okay, Omar, dealt with the fact that you don't like the Ultimate Universe, but you're not watching The Witcher. All right, man, I promise. My brother loves The Witcher. Like he read the books and he played the video game, and he was a big fan of the TV show. So I guess I'll give it a shot now that, but only when Liam Neeson takes over the role.
Why would you?
Willow is this month. Oh yeah.
Oh, this month.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Do you also
That's
review anime? We have before. We did Bleach. You remember that? That was our kind of our
Yeah,
first
it
show.
actually popped back up on our Netflix queue, like things to watch. I was like, wait, I watched that in
Yeah,
2018.
Bleach. But oh wait, that wasn't anime. That was the live action Bleach. Whoops. The
Oh,
live
live
action. That
action.
was the live
Yeah,
action.
we have not done. Have we done actual any anime
Did we do an animated show we did? Oh my goodness.
movie or
I know
no?
Audco and I did What If. Did we do an animated DC movie though, or
No, we were gonna do Super Pets, but we never got a chance to do that, which
yeah?
is fine. I watched it. It was okay.
Have
My
you ever
daughter liked it. She liked the dogs.
Ooh, I need to start watching Tales of the Jedi. I forgot
It
that
is
that
really
came out.
good. I've watched up to whatever the current episode is. I like the Count Dooku episodes. I love the first episode is Asaka as a baby, and it's a really cool episode.
Mm,
I like that
mm.
one a lot. Yeah.
What
Did
was the
you-
Star Wars Visions? That was anime, right? That
Yep,
looked really cool.
yep, that's animated
Waiting
too.
on Chainsaw Man anime review. My daughter and I really like the manga, so I saw that season 1 got picked up. Can't wait to see it. I'll watch it with her. My wife and I watched a documentary about him having cancer. We cried like mofos. Oh, dude, there's a documentary on him.
Andy, I don't
Yeah.
remember his last name, something, but yeah, it's terrible.
Guardians Holiday. I thought Guardians Holiday Special was going to be December because
Well, Willow is
November.
coming out.
Because November is Wakanda Forever. That's the big movie this
Yes,
month.
which we are seeing next week, so we can do a review for you guys on Friday.
Yeah. So hopefully
We're
you'll
very
be able to see Wakanda Forever. Chainsaw Man's on Hulu. Thoughts on the new Vision series? So okay, I was gonna ask Amanda. This is where I get my news. Well, now my news confirmation.
Yeah.
Is that a done deal? Is it Vision Quest a done thing, or
I don't
is
know if
it
it's
just
a
rumor?
done. I think it's just a rumor right now that maybe there's something in the trades that hasn't been officially announced by Marvel. No, but I think some things have been dropped in the trades, and that is why the Variety deadline are confirming it, because something must have popped up that's a writer being casted or hired to write, I think is what it is. Vision Quest. I was just looking that up actually. And Willow comes out November 30th. So Guardians won't probably come out in December because that's, really Thanksgiving week ish. So we probably get Guardians until December. But What is Deadline's the one who did say that the Vision Quest is coming, and it's just a source. There's no someone who works at Marvel Studios, so it's not been confirmed. But
y'all leave White Vision alone. People are saying November 25th is Guardians.
oh,
Are
is
y'all,
it?
are y'all getting your news from this? We got this
Close
covered
together. Well, I guess that's so weird, but that's probably true.
Aubrey
one coming out
Plaza
November
is
30th.
going to be the villain in the Agatha House of Harkness. House
Yeah.
of Harkness. What an
That's-
interesting title change there.
No, it's called Coven of Chaos now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, she is officially joining the series. But they haven't confirmed her role yet, but I think that's what a lot of people think, which is interesting considering Agatha is a villain. But they also said that Emma Caulfield's coming back as Dottie, which again, she was just a resident in Westview, so that's interesting that they're bringing Emma Caulfield back. Which I mean, she's a great actress.
That's who I recognized in Star Wars was the guy from Coupling. Patrick. He was in this. So I was like, who is this guy? It's her friend that she's trying to like Mon Mothma, like the friend that she's trying to get help from.
Yes.
Like her high school friend, or I guess it's high school, even though that's kind of weird to think about in the Star Wars universe. It was Aubrey all along.
It was.
Saw spoiler for WF backlash will ensue, I bet. Oh. Interesting. Okay, don't say a word. Don't say a word. What I don't know what that means.
I think I have an idea.
Shut up a minute. What is wrong with you? One.
It might have to do with Cheaty.
Really? One guy in prison with Cassian is in Rogue One.
That is, yes. One of the guys is in, yeah, he played one of the pilots in Rogue One. I forgot about that. That he asked him to give him, he's like, make me feel like I'm 20 men or whatever. Remember that in Rogue One when he asked him over the comm? That's the guy. And he's piloting around, like shooting them with guns. That's who that is.
I may have to go see or rewatch Rogue One again, you know. Huh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, have you seen the Cabinet of Curiosities?
I've seen the first 2 episodes, the one with Tim.
I haven't seen them yet.
What's his name? What's the leader's name in real life? What's that actor?
Tim Roth?
No, not Tim. Is it Tim Roth?
No, Tim Roth is Abomination.
Yeah, no, the who plays the leader? The guy, oh God, what's his name?
Oh my gosh, he's got one of those last names like
and look, he was in the obviously Legends of Bagger Vance.
Scar. No. Oh my gosh. Who are you talking? Oh wait, the guy from Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Yeah, and
oh my God, you
Ballad of Buster Scruggs. What is that name? Nelson.
Wow, you're like the leader, and I was like, who?
Tim Blake Nelson. Thank you, the leader. Yes, Tim Blake Nelson. Thank you, Matt. That's who it is. Yeah, I saw that episode, and then the one before it, which I'm trying to remember what that episode was.
Coupling guy is Ben Miles, is Mon Mothma's friend, Tay. He was also in the first 2 seasons of The Crown. I love that actor. He's one of my favorite characters in Coupling. No, not John Turturro. We got it. Tim Blake Nelson. Amanda went really obscure with the leader, and I'm like,
because we've been talking about.
I remember who it was, and I heard he's coming back.
He's coming back in the Thunderbolts, I think is what Captain America. I think he was announced in Captain America 4.
What a weird character to come back. I mean, he's a good actor, but what a weird character to come back.
Yeah, that is too funny. I've totally lost my train of thought just because I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, those are the only 2 episodes I've seen so far. I haven't had a chance to. It's hard to watch scary movies when you have babies running around. So, or scary anything. So you have to really pick and choose your time. And I'm also trying to watch Andor, and I don't know.
I understand. I haven't seen any of it because I was waiting for my daughter to give me some time, but she's too busy reading.
Oh, I thought you were going to say being a teenager.
Her friends.
Yes, being a teenager.
Talking to her friends. Cap 4, maybe backdoor to Hulk movie. Maybe
That's how we do Hulk. He doesn't get his own movie. It's just all backdoor Hulk.
it's Hulk and Scar come back. His
Yeah.
son with that weird haircut. They come back in Captain America 2. Uh,
Or
4. 4. My gosh, dude, did you guys watch Barbarian? Yes,
yes.
did. And I saw Terrifier 2.
Hey, do you know that was one of my news flashes? Terrifier 2, they submitted for Oscar consideration.
Really good for
Yeah.
them because practical effects are back, baby.
Yes,
I really,
exactly.
oh my goodness, the lead actress in that. I was telling my brother who has no interest in women, I'm like, this woman is gorgeous, and he's like, I can appreciate that she's pretty. She's got good. I was like, she's got good bone structure, and he was like,
Oh
okay,
my
I agree with
gosh.
that. Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. But yeah, Terrifier 2 had some really good practical effects. Barbarian was awesome. I really liked that.
Yeah.
That movie creeped me out a bit. I like movies like that. Thoughts on Harrison Ford as Ross? I I was what's the point of casting Harrison Ford? Like,
It's a good, yeah.
how old is he?
80.
80. And I'm not saying anything bad's gonna happen to Harrison Ford. He's a
Yeah.
natural treasure, national treasure. But what's the point of going that route? I mean, why not play it? Like, save some money, hire somebody that has a mustache because you're gonna CG it if you're gonna go the route of Red Hulk.
I know.
What's the point of casting Harrison? Maybe that's the point. Hey, we're gonna CG the crap out of you. All you gotta do is go rawr. Apparently, Warner Brothers has started an Oscar campaign for the
That makes
Batman.
sense. That makes sense. Matt Reeves? Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, well, since they did with Joker, I'm not surprised. They're not going to try it for the Batman. They're not going to do Black Adam. They love it, but they're not going to do one for Black Adam, but they will definitely do one for the Batman.
Well, I mean, what's his name? Nolan's Batman was also rumored to
Did,
go up
yeah,
for an
Heath
Oscar.
Ledger one for the Joker, yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know if it ever got one or not though.
except for Heath Ledger
It was,
winning
it was,
the Joker posthumously, yeah.
wait, he won? I
Yeah, he
couldn't.
did because Michelle Williams walked up to accept the award on his behalf, his wife at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
CG
he's the winner.
mustache. I hope Harrison Ford is painted red and they paint over his mustache,
I don't know
like
why they
Cesar Romero from Batman, where
yes.
he refused to shave his mustache, so they just painted it over. Omar wanted Sam Elliott from 1883. No, I love Sam
Again,
Elliott, but also
older
older. Like,
gentleman.
he's too old. He's too old. You don't keep him
Yeah.
younger. I don't feel like Ford is really franchise man. Right? Like, why cast somebody that is going to cost you an arm and a leg? Save that money for CG. God, save that money for
Maybe
CG.
they're like, wait, maybe they're gonna kill off Thunderbolt Ross. And Harrison Ford loves being that guy who kills off his characters. So maybe he's just doing it
There it is,
and
Amanda.
kill
You heard
off
it here
Thunderbolt
first.
Ross.
You figured it out. That actually,
Only because
that's
I don't
smart.
know if they're gonna kill Indiana Jones, but I'm just saying it seems like a thing that Harrison Ford wants to do. So
No,
maybe that's the
I
purpose
think
of
that's it.
casting him
I think
because
you're right.
of this whole lore that surrounded Harrison Ford and all these characters he's played in the past from franchises. It makes a lot of sense to me.
No, I'm now I'm with you. Now I understand why they
You
casted him.
guys, as long as Thunderbolt Ross bites the bullet, you're good with it.
I'm good. I'm good with that. That's a good move. That's a good move. You
It is
cast
a good
somebody
move.
like Harrison Ford and then you kill him within the first few minutes
Yep.
and you bring in the Thunderbolts. I guess named after him because this is a whole different era. Is what's her name going to be in this? Elaine?
Yes, I think she's going to be in it as well. Julia Louis-Dreyfus should be in this one as well. I think she
Okay.
was confirmed, I believe.
I'm excited for Indiana Jones 5. And speaking of 4, the other Yellowstone prequel, dude, I know. And Yellowstone, I just saw the trailer to that.
Trailer, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Of course, it doesn't air on Peacock until like a few months after it's already been aired.
Yeah, and
On
who
TV.
has it's on Paramount's like network television, right? TV
I,
channel. Is
I
that
can't
what on
TNT, something like that. I
yeah,
can't remember.
TNT. I don't know. Either way, I'm just gonna wait for it to be on Paramount Plus because
Me too, but it's gonna be hard to stay away from spoilers. Harrison Ford, the new George R. R. Martin, except he gets stuff done. Does Ford get killed by Kylo again?
or a version of Kylo, yes.
Is that guy in the Marvel universe yet?
Eddie Rock gonna kill him. Oh my god, let's just have her.
They should just cast someone in their 50s. Ford only makes sense as he's dying in Thunderbolts.
That's what I
Yeah,
say.
we just started the rumor of killing Harrison Ford in Thunderbolts. What did I see the other day? Oh, I saw a poster of John Cena versus The Rock as Peacemaker versus Black Adam, like a wrestling poster. Adam Driver ends up playing an estranged son of Ross and becomes Red Hulk Jr. and kills Ross, which sets up the team to go after him.
The only thing John Cena is going to beat The Rock at is just acting the crap better than he does.
Whoa, shots fired.
Oh, please.
Poor Rock. He might get an Oscar nomination one day.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He is.
Have you seen the people's eyebrow? That's talent.
He's just the, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Who should Adam Driver play in the MCU?
Oh, wow. That physique, that very distinct face.
I'm not kidding. Put a bra on that dude and he can be She-Hulk and save buddy on freaking CGI. They're rewriting the script right now. Wait, which one? What are they rewriting? Indiana Jones 5 or Amanda killing Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones?
Probably Thunderbolts. Die. That's right. What's going on.
We're going to save some money. We're just going to kill him off right now.
What we're going to do. Yeah.
They hold on. Adam Driver. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, I like the guy, but I'm really tired of these big names. I kind of want a lot of no names for my next big movies.
Yeah,
MCU.
or just less than names.
Right, kind of like Tom Hiddleston, right? When he came, like, and nobody knew who he was, or for that matter, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, I think his only other acting nod at that time was in Star Trek.
Yeah,
as for 5 minutes as Captain Kirk's dad. That was it. Like,
and Tom Hiddleston was like,
seriously,
the only actor that was really there was Rene Russo.
Oh, and Anthony Hopkins.
Also, what's his name? Odin.
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins, yeah.
Yeah, Sir Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, I mean, that's what they.
Oh, that's actually good, but then that goes back to him being behind a mask, like he was, in Kylo Ren. But he's got a really good voice. He's got a good mask voice. Does that make sense?
He does have a good. Yeah, you wear a mask and yes. He can elicit a lot of emotion while wearing a mask. I think that's very important to do because some people can put a mask on and elicit no emotion, and that makes no sense.
I don't know how you NA people made the Rock a thing. NA, North American.
North Americans?
What's an NA? NA. Did you see the Miracle Man stuff? What Miracle Man stuff?
No,
what are you talking? Are you talking about Wakanda Forever? What are you spoiling for me, boss?
Yeah,
Driver's Doom. He wears a mask because Reed broke his nose, and now it's huge. Roberto Rodriguez, Cillian Murphy for Victor Doom, Scarred face. If we have to see him, no man, I don't want scarred face. Like his face has to be mutilated, like a Books of Doom face. Oh, okay. I was like Miracle Man. Wonder Man.
Yes, the Wonder Man. We did see the news on the Wonder Man. It's the actor,
the Wonder Man,
who played the Black Manta and Aquaman, is going to be taking over Simon Williams for Wonder Man. So I like the actor. He's a great actor. So I didn't even realize, because they haven't announced it on any of their phases, a Wonder Man show or anything like that. So I think I forgot that they were working on that.
He's a great actor, but I think he's too good for the character unless they're going to go into some deep arc that I don't know where they're borrowing from or what they're going to do.
I don't know.
Do you know what your plan for Wakanda Forever next week will be? We're going to be reviewing it on Friday, right, Amanda?
Yep. We have plans to see it Thursday evenings for the previews, and then we will be seeing it we'll be doing a review Friday evening. So that's our plan for next week.
Yaya should have been cast as Black Panther, not Wonder Man.
He would have been a cool, I agree. Would have been a cool.
Name one good Rock movie. F you guys, I'm going home.
He has decent movies when he's surrounded by Jumanji, but because he has a very talented cast that surrounds him. we can't just knock the movies he's in because he has other great cast members that make
Oh,
movies.
dude,
Jack Black is fantastic in Jumanji. Even Karen Gillan holds her own as the stunt girl. And of course, I love Kevin Hart, so it's hard to say. But I mean, yeah, that
Kevin Hart dressing up as Tyrion Lannister.
that was the best thing ever. I
That
love
cracked me
him to poke fun at himself, and I
The
love
Scorpion King. The Scorpion King. I said it.
No,
I said
who?
it. The Rock. He said
Fighting
maybe.
with My Family is a great movie. I know he's not in it a lot.
Oh, Florence Pugh.
But Florence Pugh and even what's her name? Lena Headey's in it. It's a great film.
Florence Pugh.
Nick, what's his name? Nick from
Frost.
Yes, Nick Frost. Thank you. He was in it too. Yeah, that's a great film. Yeah.
That was fun.
Movies that don't have the raw, like even if he's a main character, as long as there's other people around him.
Now, I don't think. I mean, he's going to be casting in things like you know. I don't think he's going to be casting in any kind of Shakespeare plays.
No, or drama.
But he definitely has a type of movie.
Like Call Me by Your Name. He's not going to be doing that. Like that's not going to happen.
Okay, you don't know that. I would love to see The Rock and Kevin Hart play the roles in Call Me by Your Name. When Kevin Hart smelling his underwear. Sorry if I spoiled that part for anybody and Call Me by Your Name. Pain and Gain was fun. Yeah, that was a good one. I think that's the type of movies that you go and see though, like these summer blockbusters, like Rampage or Baywatch.
No one would say, but Baywatch. Every time I think of that movie.
Moana. Why didn't you say Moana?
Well, because I like Jumanji a lot. Moana's a great movie too. Also, but not because of The Rock, because of everyone around him, and he happens to be in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
do. That would be a fantastic
remake. Rock and Kevin Hart.
I feel like that's gonna happen, James, at some point. I just have a feeling the way their friendship is. They'll work on something like that. I'm still shocked I'm going to get a Ryan Reynolds Will Ferrell movie on Apple TV Plus for Christmas.
Yo, what was it?
I'm so shocked. I don't know, but they actually learned tap dancing for that, which I think Will Ferrell already knew it, but Ryan Reynolds learned.
Of course, Will Ferrell knows tap dancing.
Yeah, because he's a thespian.
Oh, a thespian.
Yeah, with weird comedian. But
Fast 5 was the first Fast and Furious movie I liked. No. They're all goofy to me. I understand why people love them, but yeah, just never been a fan of that franchise. I went to see it with my cousins, like the first one, and I'm like, oh, not for me. And then there were sequels after that, and Adam kept inviting me, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna waste my money.
Well, at this point, I don't even think he sees them in theaters anymore because he don't got the time.
Well, I mean, people still go and see those movies, even though they can't get The Rock back because he's fighting with Uncle
Vin
Dom.
Diesel.
Vin Diesel, yeah.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. No, Tim's like, no. Yeah, but it is what it is. So we got.
I want to see a Jingle All the Way remake with The Rock and a modern Marvel Legends toy. Why are we remaking everything with Arnold with The Rock?
I don't know, but
Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm would be cool. Who's Vanessa Kirby, Amanda?
That's a good question. Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I'll look her up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can look her up too. Let me see. It's just gonna put me down a rabbit hole. Ooh.
Oh, okay. I know who.
She's in The Crown.
She is in Hobbs and Shaw, and The Crown. Yes.
Oh, where else? Mission Impossible. Oh, and Pieces of a Woman.
No,
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
seen that. She was in The Sun, which I saw.
I do wonder if a Fantastic Four member will appear in Wakanda Forever.
Oh man. Okay, so before we wrap up tonight, what's the schedule for next week? Are we just doing Friday and skipping Wednesday?
Yeah,
the Wednesday show too. If we're remaking Arnie's film, how about Predator with Ezra Miller? No. Sorry, it came out way too strong. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, we probably should cast Ezra Miller in anything for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably skip a Wednesday show and do the Friday show with Black Panther, where we'll give our review of Wakanda Forever. Very excited to see how that comes to play.
Yeah, right now it's up in the air. It can go the route of, I don't know, Shang-Chi, which I really enjoyed, or the route of
Or
Love
Love
and Thunder, which Amanda really enjoyed. So right now it can go either way.
Always the lions.
Arnold is Doom, from Terminator to Doom, from Mr. Freeze to Doom.
Yeah.
Let me see. Was there any other movie news or anything else?
The only other big thing that happened this week that we should
Welcome, buddy.
probably just mention is
Right.
that DC Stargirl was officially canceled.
Oh, yeah, that's
So, following the long line of DC products that Zaslav is just doing away with, there goes another one. I don't know if anyone here in the chat was a fan. I know we had a couple of fans who watched the show who are big into Stargirl, really love this show. You had watched a few episodes or the first season, I think, of it, right?
I watched the first season. I really liked it.
Exactly. So it's a shame they couldn't just move it over to HBO Max and keep doing it there. But I have a feeling that we're going to see a huge turn of direction for DC in the next 5 to 10 years. So. But look, a ton of people. Blaz saw tonight's episode. Joe Cool said he's a fan. Phil's a fan. Yeah,
it was good, man. I'm really upset about that because I really like her. She's a cute little girl that it was just excited to have this role, and it's a life changer, right? I mean, she's gonna be casted in other things.
Oh, sure,
and it was just nice to see the JSA in it, even though we got the JSA in Black Adam. Yeah, just sucks to see it end. But I mean, that's it, right? I mean, what's left? Lois and Clark?
Yeah, so Lois and Clark is it. I am really curious what they're gonna do. It's a shame because that is a great show too. That's one of the few I do watch, and I enjoy Lois and Clark. So I don't know what's gonna happen with it. I sadly think that they will put it on the chopping block. Or Superman and Lois, sorry. Lois and Clark came out in the 90s. Superman and
Lois, not Lois and Clark. They led an expedition. Did I see what Corey said about Future Conan? I did, yeah. Somebody messaged me earlier today. Very excited that he's going to be working on that stuff too. He did an amazing job, like on all the Conan restoration. So that means they're putting a lot of money into those books. So good for Titan. I hope it pays off for them. I think the reason Stargirl was canceled was because the CW was sold and new owners were cleaning house, which feels like that's what's happening with DC in general. Like they're getting ready to just gut it and sell it and call it a day, which sucks, which ends a lot of projects. Yeah. Lois and Clark was Dean Cain, aka.
Yes, that's right. That's a lot.
I had fond memories of watching some of that stuff, but it felt like a soap opera.
Yeah, I think that CW is definitely heading in a different direction. It was sold off. I don't blame Warner Brothers for selling it off, I guess. It's a shame that it's just going to be turned into reality TV shows when, I mean, it was the WB, right, for a long time. And then eventually became the CW, and a lot of amazing shows that became part of the Zeitgeist and became cult classics started on the CW or on that channel. I mean, Buffy and Supernatural, which has been around forever.
CW saved Buffy, didn't it?
Yeah, it saved Buffy.
Because that's where seasons 6 and 7 were.
We got Angel out of it, and I mean, they had Moesha for a while. And I'm just thinking about when I was younger.
I like Moesha. Yeah, okay. I was with you.
Anyway, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff from the CW that was fantastic. I mean, Vampire Diaries for me for a while before
Smallville? Did they have Smallville?
Yeah, Smallville was on there too. Like, there was a lot of great shows that all of us millennials will have in our hearts forever.
Dawson's Creek
was there too. Yeah,
I was making that one up. I don't know.
No, it really was there.
Was it really? Was it the WB?
Gilmore Girls was also a CW show.
Gilmore Girls? That's what some of the Buffy writers went over to do.
Yeah.
Gilmore Girls.
Shame. Yeah.
Well, we're going to end this on a sad note. So long, CW. I'm so sorry you got canceled.
Yes, but good news, because next week we get to review Black Panther. I think this movie is going to have some key indicators for the end of this. Well, it marks the end of this phase, right? Phase
Is it
4.
really? Guardians Holiday is not considered phase 4?
As far as the movies are concerned, they're saying this is the end.
Okay. I think, you know what? I think it would be really fun if we rate our phase 4
movies afterwards. Yes.
Movies and shows.
Yeah.
After this, we'll review it, and then maybe
We
a
can
week
do
or
it.
so.
I was gonna say the following week we should do that. I don't think because we won't have a final. We won't have a finale.
What if
for
the holiday thing is like the best thing ever?
We have to review that separately. I'm gonna have to do that from my. We'll have to do that separately. I have to do it from my parents' house for Thanksgiving.
I'll be there too.
Well, yeah, you will be. You're invited. You come up.
Oh yeah, your mom and
The whole fam's
we've been talking.
there. Yeah.
I didn't know you were invited though, which makes it awkward.
Aiden said that it's an epilogue. Okay,
so it sort of counts like a phase, right? Like a part of this.
That
At least that's what Gunn said. Well, I don't believe Gunn anymore because he works for the enemy. He works for the distinguished competition.
No, so he said that the first person he called when he found out was Kevin Feige. That's how close they are.
You know why? Because he's offering him a job. You want to come over here and take care of this mess?
No, that would be so terrible. And
that would be great for DC. We had our golden age of Marvel movies. I know,
but it's not.
Let the guy that's running the DC department run it. And now, oh my gosh, can you imagine?
If I was him, I would just take my money and just do whatever.
Well, no, he's doing Star Wars now, I think, or something.
Kevin Feige, yeah, he's got other things going. But yeah, so I'm excited for Wakanda Forever. I'm excited to review it and let you guys know what we think. So that will be next Friday.
At what time?
Probably at 9:00.
Probably at 9:00.
Eastern Standard Time. If that's
Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Awesome.
So join us for that.
Exactly. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at NearMintCon. Remember to check us out on Spreadshop for some great Near Mint merchandise. And also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support us in what we do here on this lovely show. And then last but not least, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint. Good journey, everyone. And we will be back here for Reels Talk next Friday to talk Black Panther 2.
I'll be back tomorrow.
He'll also talk about Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever.
Oh, I'll be talking about where to start reading Black Panther on Friday, though.
Right. Omar's got some great content lined up to get you ready for the movie. So stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned.